Hello everyone, just want to show you this fun commander game I had. Won the die roll, so I get to play first. Now you see, look at this hand. Kodama's Reach and Chromatic Lantern. Decent mana fixing, but I don't have the green mana. So I do decide to mulligan this hand. You'll see I'm playing Riku. Basically just lots of big spells. The fun little twist you'll see at the end. And the opponent is playing Bruna, the new Bruna. Guess she's gonna try and get out there and get the, what is it, morph, merged, whatever the thing is. We'll see how it goes. So I do ship this hand back, and this hand, again, is close. I needed another land. I got actually mana screwed my last game, so I ended up not keeping this one. And here we go. This hand, I mean, 5 cards. It's as good as it's gonna get. Got a green mana, rampant growth. I'll have all my colors, so just gonna keep that out there. See how it plays out. So it looks like he kept his 6-card hand. So Scry 1, I got an island. Actually, I don't think I need any more lands, so I'll put that on the bottom. And first turn, I'll just lead with a temple. See what I get for the Scry. Tarka. I'm not going to be casting that anytime soon, so I will put that on the bottom. Pass the turn. See, he leads with a Plains into Soul Ring, so he's probably going to have a pretty quick start. See if I can keep up after the mulligan. So I draw Fact or Fiction. It's a pretty good draw. Can get some value off that later, but I think for now it's pretty clear. Just Rampant Growth and start getting some mana. So I play Rampant Growth and grab an Highland, so all my colors should be pretty well off. I would like to get some more ramp though, because this deck is very, very mana intensive. Let's see what he plays. Chorus of Portal. Alright, so basically he'll just be drawing an extra card every turn, unless he decides eventually to board wipe, but I don't see that happening very often. So drew a Muldrifter for turn. I decided to just evoke it because I need to get some cards going. Got a tap plan anyways. This means my mana the best. Boundless Rams in a Mountain. Nothing too exciting. I'll go ahead and crack the Evolving Wilds, grab a Forest, and pass the turn. He draws his extra card. Plays a land, and what does he got? Linvala, Keeper of Silence. Activated abilities of creatures your opponents control can't be activated. Probably not a huge deal in this deck. Riku's ability is actually triggered, so it won't really stop me from using him. You'll see later it messes me a little bit, but nothing serious. And then Weathered Wayfarer, basically just help him get some more lands. So I drew a mountain for turn. Think about it. I could either Fact or Fiction at the end of his turn, or I could just play Riku. I decided he doesn't really have me much pressure, so I'll take the greedier play. I'll just play Riku first and see if I could get a Fact or Fiction off and copy it next turn. So what's the problem I notice when I play Riku a lot is on turn 5 you could often just play him, and then you'll be able to have spells in your hand you can copy in the future, but oftentimes he'll just get killed, and it ends up you kind of just wasted a turn, and you much rather would have just played the spells the previous turn. So it's kind of just a matter of controlling your greed. In this case I go for the greedy play because he hasn't really shown me much reason not to, and it is only a head-to-head game. It's not multiplayer, as almost much ways to kill Riku, especially in mono white. So he gets his portal trigger, draws an extra card for his turn. Searches up an extra land with Weathered Wayfarer. Grabs a Windbrisk Heights. Hides something away, and you'll see when he attacks with 3 or more creatures, he'll be able to play this card without paying its mana cost. So it might come up later. At the moment, he doesn't really have the creatures for it. Maybe I stand corrected. Loyal Retainer. Sacrifice a return legendary creature from your graveyard to the battlefield. And you can only do that during your turn before attackers. That's a pretty good card. Probably in there for the same ideas as his commander. Sort of get angels back from the graveyard and yada yada. At the moment, it's not too scary because his graveyard is empty. And it looks like he is not going to be able to answer Riku. So I'll just take the damage, it's not a big deal. Draw a land, play it, and I'll pass. I'll hold up Fact or Fiction plus a Riku activation for the end of his turn. So see what he does. Draws his extra card, yep. Gets his land. What's he got this time? Prismatic Lands, just some mana, no big deal. Gyre Reach, Sanatorium. So it pays 2 mana and every player loots. It's fine. I don't really mind that much. Attacks for 3. I of course just take it. And you go to his end step and I cast Facts or Fiction. And then I will play for a copy. And you know, here's the first one. See what he does with the piles. He ends up moving them around for a while and giving me this. I decided to just grab the one with more lands here. It was tempting. I was hoping I'd get a Cultivate and Fervor pile, because I had 6 mana, I'll be able to cast them both next turn. But I do just go with the lands and Fervor, because Fervor does a lot of work in this deck, and I already have some mana. Plus I do have another Fact or Fiction coming off. This one's much spicier. I got 5 spells, 3 of which are just ramp. Clone Legion, not great on this board, but it's one of just the fun bomb spells to play in this deck. Rapid Hybridization seems to be the card he's most scared about. He doesn't want me blowing up Linvala, I guess. So he plays around with some piles. Again, looks like he's definitely scared of the Rapid Hybridization. Ends up giving me this one. I don't really care about killing any of his stuff right now, so I'll just grab the 3-card pile, get some more ramp. So I untap. I decide to cast and copy Search for Tomorrow. Grab 2 untapped land, which is important for my lands. Let me do a couple more spells after this. Grab a mountain and an island. Play my land for the turn, and then I will cast Rattleclaw Mystic and copy it. I didn't realize at the time I did this, but Linvala actually stops these creatures from using their mana ability. Most cards that prevent activated abilities don't affect mana abilities, and I kind of just assumed it was the same. So I don't actually get to use these guys for mana as long as Linvala's in play, which is a shame. Because I definitely would have rather played Fervor or something if I had thought that through. So I pass it back, he draws his extra... my end step, it looks like he activates the Sanatorium. I actually did that in my main phase, so it's an interesting choice. Doesn't really matter, I was tapped out. So I discard an island, go down to 7 cards, he draws his extra card for turn, activates Wayfarer to get another land again, loots, and now you see the spicy part of this deck. It's actually Dragonstorm deck. Now, you never really Dragonstorm for more than 1 or 2, it's kind of just in there for fun, but yeah, I don't really get to cast that much. It's mostly just a deck with a bunch of big spells, such as these 2 you'll see right here, Clone Legion, and then just big dragons to back it up, as you saw with the Atarka that I scryed to the bottom in the beginning of the game. So you cast Council's Judgment, which is kind of unfortunate here. Obviously, he's going to vote for Riku, so I'd vote for Riku as well. If I vote for anything else, then I end up losing 2 permanents. Obviously, bad choice. So he does deal with Riku. Goes to combat, attacks Linvala yet again. Just chipping away at me, but he hasn't really been applying more pressure. I wonder if it would have been smarter for him to, at some point, just attack with all 3 of these. Maybe trade off and activate Whimper's Heights, but I don't really know what he has under there. Maybe it's not worthwhile. So my draw for turn is Sirach. It's a flash creature. My creatures can't be countered, and they have Trample. It's alright in a budget deck. It's not great. So let's see what I do for this turn. That is right. I just cast Boundless Realms this turn. Figure, get a bunch of mana, I'm not under much pressure. I could try and set up for a fun Dragonstorm turn. So we got to grab 9 lands. I think I just grabbed 3 of each. Played a Scryland. I had a Zealous Conscripts on top. I kind of clicked through that too fast. I did decide to leave the Zealous Conscripts on top, which ends up being important next turn. So here he's got Coercive Portal, draws his card again, gets a land, pretty much the same thing he's been doing every turn. I don't really know what's in his hand that he hasn't really been playing any cards. He loots again, so there you see I'll draw the Conscript, I'll just discard a land. Terrain Generator, sure. Opponent's deck really doesn't seem to be doing much. Manifold, I guess that's nice. Once again, attack with one. So now I get to have some fun. Count out my mana. You see I got 10, 16, 19 mana, plus these two I can't use. So what I end up doing, do the math, is I could cast Dragonstorm costs 9, so I could cast 10 mana worth of spells first. So I'm looking at Zealous Conscripts and maybe Fervor. So what I end up doing, I cast Zealous Conscripts, because I'm just building Storm Count at this point. And I actually take his Linvala. So now I can activate my 2 Mystics and have a little bit more mana. So you'll see this allows me to drop Fervor. And then I can also afford to play Sirach. And you see I was doing the math trying to see if I could cast Scourge instead. Very nice card. When I attack the player with the highest life total, I get an extra combat step. This card was actually bugged online, and I wasn't getting my extra combat step. I don't know if they ever fixed that, but, you know, whatever. I didn't have the mana anyways, so I cast Sirach. Storm count is at 3, and then you see I follow it up. Just enough mana left with the Rattleclaw Mystic to cast Dragonstorm for 4 dragons. And you'll see this wraps up pretty quick. You see this is the top end that I went with. The big one right here is Scourge of Valkalis. When it enters the battlefield or another dragon does, I deal X damage to target creature or player, where X is the number of dragons I control. So this is one I want to grab first, so I'll be following it up with a bunch of other dragons. Have him enter, just ping the enemy for 1. Then with this second one I grab Bokhardin Hellgate, which just comes in and deals 5 damage, divided as you choose. So I'm having dead here, I'm pretty sure. So I grab that one, ping him for 5, and then 2 more with Scourge of Valkas. Next trigger of Dragonstorm will grab Udvara Hellkite, because I have Fervor in play actually, so I'll be able to attack with all these dragons, get a bunch more dragons, which will all trigger Scourge of the Throne, or Scourge of Valkas, and I should be able to ping him to dead with it. So I'm pretty sure I'm just representing lethal at this point, especially with the combat damage. The last trigger, I just grab Hellkite Tyrant, figure, you know, if something goes wrong, at least I'll take all his artifacts and leave him with a pretty empty board. So at this point, just the Scourge of Valkas trigger is already down 15 damage to 25. So I just go to combat, attack with everything. And here we go, Udvara Hellkite triggers for every dragon. So that's 4 more that come into play. He taps his Mana Vault, not sure why, it doesn't matter. So, burn him for 5, another dragon comes in, burn him for 6, and he sees the writing on the board and scoops. So this is a fun little game. I actually got the Dragonstorm victory off. You see how powerful it is when you get lots of mana, especially when you can get like a Fervor haste effect in play, Scourge of Valkas, and where is Udvara Hellkite. Those are sort of the big ones. If I could get those in play with haste, and then pretty much any other dragons, I could usually get to kill on one person with this. In multiplayer, it's a little more dangerous. Can't always kill everybody. But yeah, ended up being a fun game. I don't very often get the Dragonstorm kill. Figured I'd share it with everybody, and thanks. Feel free to like and subscribe. I'll be back with some more in the future. Bye.